Me and Moina Mathers, written and performed by Mura, including Numi Numi Numi, a traditional Jewish lullaby, inspired by Mary K. Greer's book, Women of the Golden Dawn, Rebels and Priestesses. A few years ago, I read Mary K. Greer's Women of the Golden Dawn, Rebels and Priestesses. It rocked my world in so many amazing ways. Mary referenced women I had never heard of before. I consider myself decently read on occult history. I've been studying and practicing pagan for over 20 years, and while ceremonial magic is not my personal path, Women of the Golden Dawn was not my first encounter with the Hermetic Order. My first ritual in Chicago was an autumn equinox with the OTO. I know, not the same, but kin. I knew about Yeats, Crowley, and Shaw. Books of theirs are read and unread on my bookshelves. But I didn't know about Mathers, Horniman, Gone, nor Far. Women of the Golden Dawn referenced Ibsen plays I hadn't heard of. This one infuriated me in all the right ways because I am a professional theater artist. I have 4 volumes of Ibsen. I have a BFA in acting from one of the most prestigious schools in the US. I've been a professional performer longer than I've been a witch. I started from dance. I was a starfish in The Little Mermaid. The real story, not the Disneyfied version. This was easily 4 years or more before that came out. And yet, there I was, learning how Annie Horniman would travel to Norway from England to see Ibsen premieres and then bring them back to England where live theater was still in the throes of melodrama and panto. Annie, Tabby, wanted theater that was more real, more feminist, more art imitates life, imitates art, which she wasn't feeling in the broad gestures and comedy on the English stage. Learning that the theater season, which has been a part of my life for over 3 decades, or given how much theater my parents attended, literally my entire live and in utero existence, is thanks to Annie Horniman. She rented the Manchester Theatre, sadly no longer standing, I looked, then produced different plays over the course of a year, many of which were performed and written by compatriots in the Hermetic Order. Learning this, thanks to Mary Greer's research, blew my mind. Annie thought they were a failure as they didn't break even at the end. That is an experience I am all too familiar with, living in the worlds of fringe theater as I do. And yet Annie Horniman and those artists, both within and without the Golden Dawn, literally changed the entire landscape of my world, creating the foundation for it. And I never thought to ask, how did a theater season come to be? Their failure is now such standard practice. Whoever thinks to ask, where did this come from? Numi, numi, aldati, numi, numi, ni. Numi, numi, cantati, numi, numi, ni. Sleep, sleep, my little girl, sleep, sleep, sleep. Sleep, sleep, my little one, sleep, sleep, sleep. I kind of feel like I had been asleep. Women of the Golden Dawn, rebels, and priestesses woke me up to a legacy I didn't know I was a part of and didn't know I craved. a legacy of magical, theatrical, largely childless women. I am drawn to and feel kinship with each of them for different reasons. Florence Farr, she's an actor, just like me. She loved vocal work. How I would adore to find the exercises alluded to in Women of the Golden Dawn. I mean, was Florence a precursor to Feldenkrais? Did she work with Frederick Alexander? Did she do her own thing? Was she stolen from? It was the Victorian era. There was a particular women's place in England that all four of them gave them a good to. I'm so curious, and I have no idea where or how to sleuth these questions. Maybe she wrote an autobiography? Maud Gonne, revolutionary, fighting for and with the people to overthrow their oppressors and reconnect with the stories and magic of their land, their ancestry, being fueled and inspired by Erin, the land of her ancestors, to rise up and throw off the English oppressors. When you're living on your knees, you rise up. And while my travel is definitely not going to incite any uprising, and Hamilton is only partially similar, some of Superman's music would really be more appropriate for our current U.S. land back experience. Having the health of people and place, species, in the forefront of mind and work resonates deeply with me. Annie Horniman, we both have started theaters. She did so much logistical, financial, and practical work necessary to run organizations, magical and theatrical, and didn't get anywhere near the recognition she deserves. Tick a few of those boxes. Maybe one day I'll have the financial comfort she did. I would love to be sisters in that way too, although I prefer my future wealth not be through means that include stealing from other people's cultures. Her wealth was largely familial, in large part because Dad amassed quite a global collection. Collection. I visited the Horniman Museum when I was in London last and had lots of mixed feelings about the artifacts there. Looking around, I found one picture with Annie before she was nicknamed Tabby at the Slade. One measly photo when she was a young girl in the entire place where she lived her whole life, where she supported so much creation and magic and other people's lives. That erasure hurt. I didn't get a chance to go through the Horniman Library. They were closed the day I visited. Maybe she's remembered more there. And finally, Moina Mathers, born Mina Bergson, a Polish Jew turned occultist, a channel. I'm also Polish. I'm also a channel. I'm not sure if I'm Jewish. We both had English and Irish mothers. Both of our fathers are Polish. Hers was definitely Jewish. My grandfather, a first-generation Polish immigrant, changed our last name from Mura to Mura over the course of the years he was in school. We had no idea until going through the house. Mom! I found Grandpa's birth certificate. Oh? Put it in the pile to keep. It's not our name. Look, he was born James Mura, I don't know how to pronounce this. We continued going through papers and found his high school diploma, an early driver's license. First, he drops the C, having the name Mura, H. Mura, for a while, capital H, capital M. I got a kick out of this one. My middle name is Helene, and so I sign my name with a capital H and a capital M. Had no idea I was bringing back one of the family names. And finally, towards the end of World War II, he dropped the H, and we were Mura, a common Japanese name that means village on a Polish Catholic family. No one living knows why. My grandfather's sister's family knew nothing. In Polish, chmura means cloud. And I learned that when I was in Wrocław, and I feel like I embody the family name so well. And it's also a very common Jewish Polish name. Even though the US was fighting Nazis, still are, there was plenty of anti-Semitism stateside. DNA test says no Jewish blood in my dad, but maybe they're wrong. Halach la'avoda, halach haba, yashuv entatana, yaviach matana. Daddy's gone to work. He went, Daddy went. He'll return when the moon comes out. He'll bring you a present. Moina, Minna, she visits me in my dreams. Numi, numi, salati. Numi, numi, ni. She's riding fast down a road, trying to keep the different streams of consciousness, of spirits sprinting forwards towards the finish line. It's hard, exerting work, yet her hair and poise remain perfect. She does her best work in darkness by the light of a crescent moon. Yes, there's pageantry, theatrics involved. That doesn't distract her skill and depth. Indeed, it's less like being a channel, less like being ridden by the spirits, and more like riding, choosing your horses with care and checking all the bridles and connections at the beginning and then taking off. At the end of the race is a beautiful, bountiful garden, plump grapes to eat, clearing the road dust from her mouth. Safe within the walls of the secret garden, watching, feeling, tasting the growth over the seasons, choosing what to reseed with care, making sure she gets what she needs to be able to ride fast to the lands of spirit and mystery again. Taking notes when she is traveling, channeling. Her every word is written down by those newer than her in the order, ready to wait on her, make sure she gets what she needs. Her every word is written down. The pyramids, deserts, landscapes, oceans, sphinxes described, scribed. It's not all comforting. Some of it is nightmarish. And after a session, Moina tosses and turns in bed, doubting the efficacy of what came through that day. Her husband also had a lot of demons that brought him to drink, bringing about sleeplessness for other reasons. Or maybe the spirits she rode to, now having a clear pathway back, used it, demanding her sleep time also be used to share their messages, so used to being ignored by superior industrialists. The land, the sun, the clouds clamoring to be heard, to be stewarded well through her cycles, radiating outwards. Numi, numi cantati. Numi, numi.